you have had such a really great career. And I mean, Parenthood,
I don't even, that's one of my
it's
favorite
just
series
well, just like the
ever.
whole thing everything that Parenthood touched on.
It's
It
so special to me.
mhm.
I love all like Larry Trilling and Jason Katims. I adore,
Mhm.
and Dylan and everybody on the crew and the cast. Everybody, and people. Lauren Graham just got her star. Faye,
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
um, and I'm really proud of her. She's worked like she's been here forever.
Mhm.
Hmm.
She's iconic, and everybody on that show was so loving and very protective. It was extremely rare.
Thanks for watching Hot Flashes and Cool Topics podcast. Be sure to subscribe and ring that bell to catch all of our conversations. Now, on to the show.
Welcome back to Hot Flashes and Cool Topics. We are thrilled to have Monica Potter on the show today. Actress, producer, entrepreneur, and really awesome woman. Welcome to the show.
Aw, thank you. See, this was what I was going to say earlier. I have taken on Porky Pig's persona because every time I try to talk, and then Liam, my middle son, was like, I said something the other day. I'm like, that one girl that wears all the bows, Cece Joe was. He's like, I was telling it to him. He's like, I go, like something's glitching. I'm like, okay, whoever installed all this, they better fix the batteries. Because I said, I see the letters differently now than I
Right.
did. Well, maybe I've always, but telling you, I'm like, my mom, my sisters and I, if we're around each other, well, in Cleveland, do you guys pee your pants?
I
Depends on
don't.
what I'm doing.
I
If I
don't.
sneeze too hard,
But I
Oh,
you
I'm
do
just
know
talking
know.
about
that's an
laughing.
issue. Oh, pee your pants
Oh,
laughing? Are those pee your pants from
not yet.
menopause?
No.
No.
Oh, well,
No.
everything happens with menopause. So
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
menopause, I'm going through puberty, menopause, um, and pregnancy all at the same time. That's what my body feels like.
Right. Right.
Because,
Pretty accurate. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
right, you're
Yeah.
dumb, you feel dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And the joints in your body too. My sister Bridget Biddy works at the Cleveland Clinic. She's one of the head nurses. And she's like, Monica, that's my nickname, Mock. She's like, yeah. I said, Bid, and we're Irish twins. So as soon as I got it, or I was put in menopause early
Oh.
because I had to get an ovary taken out.
Okay.
So I was getting my full periods. And then, long story short, I went to St. Joseph Hospital because I was having a really intense pain under my left rib, like someone was stabbing, and it lasted. And so finally, I'm like, oh, I couldn't stand. I went into St. Joe's Hospital, and I had a trip to Ireland coming up to see my family, and my goddaughter Hannah was getting married, and they said, okay, we have an incidental finding, and I'm like, what does that mean? I'm like, let's go, hurry up. I just don't like taking people's time up in the hospital or, anywhere. Cause I'm like, someone else may need the bed. Let's figure it out. Let me get out. Um, and they said, you have to see an oncologist right away. And I went, so Molly was in the room with me, and it was just shocking because I was married to an orthopedic oncologist, and he's an awesome doctor, but they're like, it doesn't look benign. And
Oh
I
my
went,
gosh.
but I wasn't scared. I was just like, okay, okay. So Molly walked over to me and she said, Mom. And after everything she's been through with, going through the divorce, it was an 8-year long trial and all that stuff. But now we're great friends. That's what that's a whole other subject we can talk about. Family court of law in California, 8.5-year trial.
Wow. That's
So
crazy.
wanting her not to feel scared, that was my first thing. And she knows the terminology because her dad does what he does. And he's great at it. So they said, you're going to go to Cedars to see Dr. Lee. He's the oncologist for, and I'm like, okay. And I said, Molly, I just sort of felt numb a little bit. And she goes, Mom, there's nothing wrong with you. I promise you, there's nothing wrong with you. It had shrunken and I had the surgery. They took out one of my ovaries, both of my fallopian tubes. I don't know why. And I kind of want them back
Yeah,
because
it might not work that way. I think it's
I
an
just want
exit
to,
only.
I want to see it in a jar.
Okay, that's
It's,
fair.
Yeah.
yeah, like where did they put it?
Mhm.
That's mine.
I do wonder that. Where do they put all that?
Oh, I wonder a lot of things.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Me and Biddy Bridget is quite the investigator on that stuff.
On
But
that, being at the
uh-huh.
Cleveland Clinic. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right.
she
And
sees it
then
all. Mhm.
oh yeah. So they said, what did you do in Ireland? And I said, I just had fun. I didn't worry about it at all. And I think the mind can also help a lot in prayer. But then I was at my manager's office and I'm like, you guys, I'm getting fevers every hour. And they're like, it was my manager, Kelly, who's a guy. He's like, or he was asking about how are your how are your hormones? I'm like, huh? I'm like, I don't know. I've gained like 13 pounds and I kept gaining weight. And I'm like, I can't remember anything. And I'm still getting all of the signs of having my period. Like my boobs are right now, I'm PMSing. So it doesn't make any sense. So my body's not understanding, you know. But
Mhm.
and he said, what's going on with your hot flashes? And I said, I thought those were fevers. And he's like, no. So it took a guy who's very in tune with women to tell me. He's like, they didn't give you any hormones or anything. And I said, no.
I
So
mean,
they shot you into menopause and just left you out. I mean, I'd like to say it's a surprising story, but
but it's
unfortunately,
not.
we've heard
No, the
from a
fact
lot of
that
women.
this is,
Mhm.
I didn't mean to interrupt. Go
No,
ahead.
no, no. No, I was just saying, unfortunately, we've heard this story before where women are not told anything and
No.
don't know what's
Mhm.
happening to their bodies.
And why is it that it is happening? I think it's the foods we're eating, the air we're sucking in, the environment. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a realist.
Mhm.
I think the truth is stranger than fiction and sometimes far more sinister. And, you know,
Mhm.
um, the
Yeah.
whole world is a stage. But anyhow, I digress. They don't tell you anything, but it was not this bad when my mom went through it. And my mom didn't go through it until she was in her late 50s. I want to say 59. So my sister Jessica is just starting to go through it now. She's 57. And as soon as I got it, Bridget got it. So whenever I get something, Bridget gets it. Like when I found out I was pregnant with my first baby, Bridget's pregnant.
Oh,
So I'm like,
wow.
so I'm like, sorry. But
So
she,
how
yeah,
how far apart? You said you're Irish twins. How
yeah.
far apart are
So
you two?
she, let's see, 16 months.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
15, 16. It's kind of Irish 20,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we have, I mean, wait, you have seven sisters?
I have 9. Well, there were 12 kids. There were 10 girls, 2 boys. Yeah. I'm number 11.
That's a good number.
It is a good number. I just went on a sister trip last week with 6 of them. 6 of the sisters. We went to Charleston, South Carolina. So we have a ball. We have fun together.
Don't you love having sisters?
Yes, yes.
I mean
I
it.
Absolutely.
do.
Like I couldn't imagine our family I was supposed to be a boy, but
So was I.
I
So
was
was I. Actually, so was I.
Yeah.
I was the
Maybe that's
baby.
a new show.
Yeah,
So
I was
was I.
supposed to be a boy. So
I
was
was
I.
yeah, so
Yes.
was I.
Yeah.
My dad, I was second born, and my dad said, "Okay, Jackie, we're gonna go to the hospital and have your baby brother." Yeah, that made sense. I swear I'm not high. Um, but cannabis does help. But, but
Yes,
then you can't.
certain states.
It's certain, not in Tennessee. Yeah. But we can get Delta 9. So sorry.
What's that? A flight?
It is no, no, it should be. It's some kind of it's got THC. There's Delta 8
Right,
and
but
Delta
it's like
9.
a farming
Something not
contingency.
quite as strong as cannabis, but it can
I
still
got
work.
your back.
Yeah, I can still. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. It's so interesting, just all of the different things which you were told, like at the hospital, and what they didn't tell you and what they didn't offer you. And we've
Mhm.
heard from so many doctors, especially after women have hysterectomies, that you should be offered something. You should at least have a choice. You can
Now,
decide if you do
you
that.
guys are going to help me on this.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Okay. No, I need your help with it because I don't study anything about, I make potions and formulas and stuff for other stuff. Um, I'm not a witch or anything, but like I say potions, I have a big cauldron in the back.
It is the month of Halloween. You
Halloween,
never know.
yes.
You know what? I'm from Ireland. I mean, by way of Ohio, Cleveland, and everyone in my family's Irish, so and Viking. So I'm not like into Halloween stuff, but I didn't realize it came from Ireland, that it started in Ireland. And I'm
I
not a
didn't know
big
that.
I didn't
I
know
didn't
that.
either until recently. I'm not a big Halloween person. I love fall, but so yes, the doctors and Chris, my husband, I don't like saying ex, my second husband. There's a whole door of
There they are. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on out, Ronnie. Hey, Rick, you're next. Hey, Ted, come on. No, I love being married. It just wasn't like good at it, or I don't know. It was just,
It didn't work out. It's
Didn't work
okay.
out, ran its
yeah,
course. Yeah.
yeah. So, but I love him. I love my first husband too.
We're gonna
Okay.
send this to them later. No,
Oh, you kid, I am that go for
They
it,
know.
man.
They
I'm
know.
kidding.
Yeah, they know. So
Mhm.
he even said, because he works at Cedars, he said they're going to try to get you in and get you out right away. Like, and he said, don't let them push you out of the door without making sure you have a follow-up. And sure enough, but the weight gain,
Mhm.
you guys,
Mhm.
that pissed me off.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it didn't help. It's going to tell you, didn't help that I would smoke some,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then eat
Hungry.
a ham. Get married.
But your metabolism slowed. So
It
there you
does. It
go.
does. Everything that you used to do doesn't work anymore.
Anymore.
I think I gained 25 to 30
Oh,
pounds.
easily.
Yeah.
We all
Mhm.
gained. Yeah. It was
Mhm.
definitely probably 15 for me.
A year ago, around this time, I was in Cleveland. I was supposed to go for 2 weeks. I stayed for longer because I have my home there too. And my sister, when I came home, each butt cheek, there was one cheek was this big, one cheek is that big, and my boobs. And I don't like big boobs. I used to be very athletic and gymnastic. I don't have a boob job. I hate big boobs on me. I don't, I like to be
Mhm.
like I had a dancer's body. And now I'm like a telephone tubby. Sorry. Like
Yeah.
I,
Mhm.
and then your
Yeah.
skin dries out. So I'm
Yes.
working on some stuff creating some stuff that is hopefully going to help women.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's so. Did you look into menopause hormone therapy at all?
Oh, I'm on patches. What am I
Okay.
taking? Estrogen, like the estradiol patches on your stomach, you put them on, and then it's the belly fat too, you guys.
The
Yeah.
I
visceral.
mean, my
Yeah.
sisters thought that I had ass implants.
Oh
I'm
my
not kidding.
goodness.
Sorry.
Oh no. Yeah.
My mom goes, Mock. And then one of my youngest sister, Carrie, she's like, I'm jealous. Your your butt is huge. I
No,
mean,
no.
and it was like, I don't care. I don't like carrying around the extra weight, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just don't want to like say, oh, well, this is me. And you have to give yourself some grace while you're going through it.
Yes.
But
Mm,
I didn't want to say, oh, well, I'm just going to stick, because you don't
yes.
feel good. It
No.
affects your joints, your shoulder.
We interviewed one of the gynecologists, really a great one, Dr. Heather Hirsch. And I said, I didn't know these I knew about menopause. I had one sister that had really terrible symptoms.
Yeah.
And the other ones, she was my oldest sister. And I used to make fun of her for turning down the thermostat. I'm like, you're just trying to get attention. Stop it. And
Stop it.
and then it came and got me. Boy, did it get
Yeah.
me. It was like we see you and we're gonna
Yeah.
come and get you.
Yeah. You're
And
next, sister.
yeah, I did not know what perimenopause was, and that was horrible. But
I skipped
yeah,
right through that. What is
oh,
that?
it was right before where my periods were so heavy.
Oh,
When
yeah.
I was a teacher. It was
Yeah,
like,
what's
yeah,
what's
it,
happening is once you hit menopause, all the hormones are pretty much low balanced.
Yeah.
Perimenopause is
they're
when they're
like
going
this.
this. The
They're
rush. So
like
sometimes your estrogen's up here, sometimes your progesterone could be high, and it can last up to 10 years. So
yeah,
you're riding this roller coaster, you're gaining weight, you're not sleeping, you're anxious, you're
brain fog. You're
Oh, the
can't
forgetting
remember.
things.
anxiety.
Yeah,
hmm
anxiety,
And that's
And
everything.
all peri.
Hmm.
um, the other thing was the nausea. I
Some
Mm,
felt
people
like
get
I
it.
was pregnant, and I still do. I have to take Zofran sometimes, on the nest, whatever it's called, just so I don't throw up.
mm,
It's like, and I always used to sweat a lot when I was a baby. My mom would say you were the chubbiest and you would just sit and sweat. So when I get a flop sweat, I mean,
hmm,
being in the South too, or being from the Midwest, it's humid.
hmm.
People don't, they're like, it's humid in Cleveland. I'm like, yeah, it's real humid. So
Yeah.
at least there's some of a little bit of a break in California.
I do think environment has to have some kind of thing
A
to do with
thousand.
it. I do. I
Mhm.
mean, just in every sense of every disease that's coming along and the prevalence.
Thank
I,
you.
Yeah.
I do think something is going on, and it's something that we're eating. It's something that's in our food.
Mhm.
It's
And we've talked
epigenetic.
to it's
Yeah, it's epigenetic.
Ailey Cohen.
Right, but it's epigenetics,
Yeah, but
meaning the
she just said
environment.
you just can't. I'm here. I am sweating right now. I'm
You're having
taking
a
my
hot
jacket
flash.
off.
Sorry.
It's
Sorry.
She's
okay.
having a hot
I'm like,
flash.
ooh, I'm getting too hot now. But it
How do you say the word?
epigenetics.
Epigenetics is the role of the environment in health.
Y-
Yeah,
Yes.
and then it just gets into your food, your water,
Right.
all the things
And
that's
if you
going on.
couple it with the fact that most studies on
Yeah.
health were not done on women until the late 90s, like 92, 93.
Yeah.
So, how could you possibly study menopause on men? Like,
And also our food and everything in
yeah,
it. They know
absolutely.
exactly what they're, don't even get me started on Monsanto.
Mhm. I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would be canceled. Oh, wait, if you have your own podcast, they can't cancel you, can they?
Mm,
No,
no.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what? I'm
you're
coming
gonna,
in hot. I'm coming in hot. I've got lots to
No.
say. I might not go on YouTube, but who cares?
No.
you
But
know what?
it is.
TikTok. You could go
Yeah. We interviewed Dr. Ailey Cohen, and what was her book called?
Well, I just happen
Detoxify. You have it right there.
detoxify. I just happen.
Detoxify.
And my dad was way into this. He was an inventor. He had a
Yeah.
genius IQ. My sisters all got that side of uh they're all like really incredibly smart. My sister Jessica works with autistic adults on a farm in Ohio.
Oh,
They're
that's awesome.
farmers. They grow their own food it's in Garrettsville, Ohio. And my sister Carrie works with homeless and mentally ill people from the street that have nowhere to go.
Oh, wow.
And so she helps them with their eating and taking care of them. And then my sister Bridget is sorry.
It's okay.
They're just like awesome people.
Right. And
Uh,
I love the closeness because you bought your house that you grew up at.
Yeah.
And
And
yeah,
I
eh,
bought it back and I'm so glad that I did because my dad's spirit is still there. And
yeah.
it's
That's
my favorite place to be. So if you guys ever want to come to visit Cleveland, it's not in the greatest neighborhood, but I'll protect you.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well,
But
my husband's family's from Cleveland area.
There's just an orb up there above your head on your
Bridget or
Colleen or
me?
Bridget,
Bridget. Yeah.
an orb.
Upper
Wonder
left.
who's there.
It's
Upper.
someone.
Oh, it could. I don't know. Maybe it's
Maybe
John's
it's you.
grandparents from
Yeah.
Well,
Cleveland. My husband's
oh,
my husband's parents are from Cleveland. He was born in
really?
Canton. Yeah, but his
Canton?
he was born in Canton and he lived in Hudson till he
Yeah.
was like 7 and they
Yeah.
moved. Yeah.
I'm right
Yeah.
on the lake and it's my favorite. It feels very much like a vortex, like a loving, the whole street does.
Hmm.
Um, the neighborhood around it is not the greatest, but that's because of the politicians. And except for Mike Polensek, my councilman there, I work with him a lot. And I love the neighborhood so much, and we're rebuilding it. And, you know, I have a lot of goals that I want to do and that I've set out to do when I was little for people there and here. Um, and this is a good platform, acting or whatever, my job, so I can reach that.
When we started this podcast 6 years ago, nobody was talking about menopause. Nobody was
No.
talking about women's health. And now
Mm-mm.
we have speakers like Naomi Watts, like Halle Berry, that are
Yep.
now going. It's when women start to go through it and they realize there's no resources out there
Nothing.
that they're
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, if my voice can carry some weight,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use it. And I love
Mm-hmm.
that. I think Bridget and I are so happy to see the conversation opening up
Yeah.
because the women behind us, they need it just as badly. And, the conversation, the narrative, it needs to change, not just for menopause, but for all women's health, because we're at the
Mm-hmm.
point where longevity is the conversation we're entering into. How do you live a healthy, long life? You don't want just a
Mm-hmm.
long life if you're not healthy. And
No.
Hmm.
all those conversations about food, environment, all that stuff
Mm-hmm.
really comes
Supplements.
into play. Exactly.
Yeah. Going back through some of my dad's notes, he was all into health. He knew about magnesium. He's always like magnesium, magnesium, magnesium. It helps with, mood swings. And he would study all of this stuff. And so I mean, he died when he was 64 at a massive heart attack. I was filming somewhere and he was at the old house. Anyway, it was weird how he died, but he was studying all of this stuff. So I have all of his stuff, and it's super interesting how you can sort of put this together with this and figure this out for that and go, oh, like do people talk about methylene blue or
No.
grapefruit seed extract and how that's used for antimicrobial, antifungal, antiviral, anti everything, but it keeps the good flora in your system. Um, Methylene, grapefruit seed extract, stuff like that that's
Hmm.
readily available that, and I'm going to start doing some more DIYs for my website because I love to do them. And he taught me everything. The certain, ratios and percentages of what to use for this formula and for healing.
Before we came on, I was thinking about how you bought your house.
Mhm.
And the house I grew up in, after my mother passed, she didn't live there for 10 years. She rented it to a family, but we ended up selling it. It was on 10 acres. I didn't want to sell it at the time, but we were moving and I knew we'd probably sell it. Well, we heard it had been sold, and I was trying to go in to try to buy it back. I was trying to contact whoever bought it,
Mhm.
never heard from them. They tore it down last
Yeah.
year. It was built
She
in
was
19. I was
devastated.
devastated. I mean, I lived there my whole life until I went to college. So it was, a nice size home. They tore down all these houses. Um, And I
Mm,
was thinking about you, and I was thinking, gosh, it's something I really wanted to do, but I
yeah,
did know if I did it, it was going to be a lot of work. I knew how much work it was going to be.
yeah,
And I also knew, you have three siblings. All of my siblings, they'd all want to say in what happened, and I love them dearly, but it would almost be a sensory overload right there.
yeah. And
To hear
also
them.
too, you know what I realized when we redid the house, um, I was filming it while under construction. Mm.
Yeah, yeah,
Not a good idea.
While opening up another store downtown in Cleveland. This was in 2016. So filming while redoing your childhood home. And they said, okay, we're going to paint all the woodwork and da, da, da. My mom, it's over 102 years old. My mom said, no, they're not. They're not painting that woodwork with her Irish. She's like, I said, my mom will never allow that. They're like, we want to make the woodwork white and the walls dark. I'm like, nope, we're not doing that. I mean, I was in fights every day with the line producer. He's lovely, but it was like herding cats. My sisters, I'm like, okay, can you, I'm going to make sure you're paid well, but I need you to help me. But I knew I would come back for that house. When we moved to Alabama, I was 16 and I looked at the house and I said, I'm coming back. I promise you I'll be back. And we sold it to a guy, single guy who was in a band called Para Ubu, kind of alternative. His name is Jim Jones, not the bad one, but
not the yeah,
Right.
not the murderer, but
yeah.
the one. He was kind of a recluse. So when we went in there, you couldn't move anywhere. And then we found he had all these urns everywhere. And I'm like, all right, who's this? Who's that?
Oh my.
Because nobody had ever really been in the house. The neighbors all loved him. And I would go there once in a while when I was home. And it's a private drive right on the lake. And I would say, just how you doing? And he'd had a bunch of dogs, but when he passed away in the house at age 50, he had a heart attack in my parents' bedroom. And nobody came to claim anything of his. And I felt so awful for him because, like, here's this man who we sold the house to. We found our furniture in there that we left for him because we couldn't afford to drive it down to Alabama. So when we came back, I'm like, Mom, look, your dining room table's still here. She goes, oh, I've always hated that thing. And I'm like, well, guess what? We get to paint it.
Yeah,
So we turned it into a production. But what I didn't realize would happen were all of our memories coming back. We all experience different things, feelings, emotions, remembering certain traumas, but also all the good times, the normal stuff we all go through as human beings. Because there's not anybody, I don't care what your socioeconomic background is, that doesn't have, but we all viewed it in different ways. We all felt it in different ways. And I'm so happy to God that I got the opportunity to do that. I mean, I found my dad's invention uh, tables in the basement. What I remember where the paint had come from, what he was creating. I never was without my dad. I was stuck to him, stuck to him. Um, and my mom was just, or is just, she's great. She's great. All my sisters are still there. So whenever I'm home, we all just get together and it is magical. And I'm so grateful. But I'm sorry about your home,
I know. I
Rig.
wish I could have had that. I wish I could have had that. And because then we could have had our holidays there. We could have had that
Yeah.
there. And it does break my heart. And just like you said, we almost felt like that house was a person.
Oh, it
Uh,
is. It is.
yeah,
It's
we felt like that.
absolutely a person.
Yeah,
This,
we felt like somebody took this person away from us, you know.
but it's still there. It's
Yeah.
still there. You know what
Mhm.
I mean?
You've had so many life experiences, being married young, having kids young, and then having another marriage and another child. How has your career woven through that? It's you were so, you hit with Con Air and we won't even talk about Young and the Restless. Doesn't even matter.
Oh no, that was so fun actually to do that.
But like
So
you kind of you had peaks and valleys too with that. So how did you weave the two together?
I don't know. I guess I mean, isn't that Colleen, I gotta tell you, um, that's a great, no one's really asked me that. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
No, that's a really good question. And I don't really think about that because when I first got married to Tommy, I was 18, had Danny at 19. We were in Cleveland, and I would watch Regis and Kathy Lee every morning. But I was modeling. I started modeling when I was 12 and for an agency called David and Lee in Cleveland. They were based in Chicago. So I had done some work modeling and doing commercials in Cleveland. And throughout the years, then I worked at a flower shop after school. I went to Villa Angela High School and um my road was like this. It wasn't even like the road less traveled. It was one that my dad always said, you're going to have your own road because it's not going to be the road less traveled or you're going to make your own. And it's going to be crazy but fun. He said that to me when I was little. And so I thought, okay, I'm in. I mean, he told me what I was going to do when I was 3. And I knew like, okay, I'll go to Hollywood and become a movie star. It's on tape. And
That's so crazy that he just knew it at age 3 what
yeah,
you were
well,
going to do.
I wanted to be a nun at age 3 because I thought, well, I want to go help people. And um, he's like, no, Maki, go to Hollywood, but sing like a rhinestone cowboy first. So I was a blob of just 3 years old, just had this real thick voice, and I'm singing this song. He's like, now sing and he would have me watch TV with the sound down to look at body language, to look at movements, to look at expressions, feelings, and things like that. And we all have it anyway, I think. He had it in spades. So I got married young. Then I'll make this shorter. So Tommy and I then had Danny. Was watching Regis and Kathy Lee. I'm like, you know what? I love Kathy Lee. She can do it. I can do it. She had just had Cody. Like, what the? And I'm sitting at East Park Drive in Cleveland. So I said, let's move to Chicago. So we moved to Chicago because my agency was there, David and Lee. Then they opened another one in Miami. So we moved to Miami. Danny was 2. So I was 21, pushing a stroller, trying to get modeling jobs. We stayed in motels. I mean, you can't write this stuff if you
Mhm.
um drove everywhere, then decided, okay, we're going to move to California. Moved to California. Um, and I got The Young and the Restless. Found out I was pregnant with Liam. I was 23 and I sucked. I got kicked off the show because I sucked so bad. But it was terrible. It was a terrible, like they were laughing at me. I would be laughing at me too. I was so it was so it's doing those shows are hard.
Isn't it
Actress. Yeah.
acting on a very fast pace? Like you don't get a lot of takes. It's just here and then hit it and then go to the next one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we'll say that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good that's yeah, everyone was super nice. Super sweet. I'll never forget it. But no, and then so I found out that I was pregnant with Liam, and I remember calling my mom from a cell phone, not a cell phone, a pay phone, and told her that they fired me because they said it was because of the pregnancy. I was playing a 16-year-old too, so maybe it was, but it wasn't. I was terrible on the show. So, and then Tommy and I started to do films, and I did Bulletproof, and then I did Con Air, and then, or no, along came, no, Without Limits, then Con Air, and then Tommy and I were together for 12 years, but then we it just didn't work. Um, so we went through this whole thing where he moved back to Cleveland and he took the boys, but I was, working and taking care of them also. So that was my first time through it. So I moved back to Cleveland at the height of my career in the later 90s. Um, and I bought a house. And then I bought my parents a house right around the corner. My sister Bridget, Jessica, and Carrie, we all lived in the same
Gosh.
circle. And I was talking to my agent at the time, and she said, you're throwing away your career. You've worked your whole life to get I'd done Patch Adams, I'd done at the height, moved back to Cleveland for 4 years and was like, I remember screaming at God. I was like, really? And I said some swear words, and I was like, this is what, thanks. And I lost my agent then, and you reflect and you wonder why, but I know the reason. 2003, I woke up one morning and I said, I'm going back to California with the boys. Tommy had been he was getting sober. So that was a lot. And the Potters hated my guts, and they're all like the Kennedys. We're great now. We've been great for a long time, but you can edit however you want. But anyway, I love them so much. So, and they helped so much with Danny and Liam when I would have to travel for work or whatever. I knew they were in good hands. Um, I woke up one day and said, we're going back to California. And the boys hated me, my kids. Danny was in sixth grade, going into seventh. And then Liam was in kindergarten, no, first grade. And then, because I had held him back at first kid or whatever. So Tommy was in getting better. He was getting sober. And I remember leaving, coming back here, buying the house. And I said, okay, starting over. And 2003, we had been there for 4 years and spent so much time with my dad. And my kids got to be around him all the time. They were always going fishing. And I was taking really, I had a lot of money, but I lived in a tiny house. I mean, growing up the way I grew up, it was a lot, it is a lot of money. And so I shared it. We did fun stuff as family, and um there was never any weirdness or jealousy of my sisters. Just it was fun. It was the best time. And so brought the kids back, and I went to Newfoundland for um the new year. So it was January 2nd. My sister Bridget and I were in Newfoundland, and we got a call that my dad had passed of a massive heart attack. So from October to January in those 5 months. But that's why we had those 4 years there with him, you know, and um, that's it's like I never really saw it as frustrating, or I saw there's a reason for all of it. You know what I mean? You grow and take steps back so that when you go forward again, you have a better mindset, you have more gratitude,
Hmm.
you have more determination, and you have a knowingness that it's okay. You know, like, wow, this is life. It is very like this, you know. Um, I'm looking for it to just be a little
Less silly. Yeah, I
Don't
I
you
know.
feel
love,
it as you get
yeah,
older? You kind of just want your peace. You
Yeah.
yes.
want,
Hmm.
you don't want all the chaos that was very, you dealt with it when you were younger, but it takes its toll. And
It takes its toll, and the hate and the fear,
Hmm.
you know. Oh man, it
Hmm.
because I had lost it all then too, so I had to rebuild it. You know, you just lose it and you rebuild, you lose it and you rebuild, you lose it and rebuild. So that's what I'm doing now
Hmm.
again. But it's like Harold and the Purple Crayon, that my favorite book. I read it all the time. You draw what you want,
Hmm.
you create your reality, and yeah, you have to still like coexist in the 3D, but this is not real. You know, and that taught me that also. Like, how can you create your own magic, or your not magic, but your own miracles with God? You have to ask for it and have the intention to do it.
Sometimes, if you put it out there, what you're really wanting, somebody might come in and try to stop or try to talk you out of what you're doing.
right.
Mhm.
And sometimes you just got to know, I know this is what I want. And I know in my heart, I know I want this. And I'm
Mhm.
afraid this person's going to say this and give me these reasons why I shouldn't.
Oh,
So,
I love
yeah.
the word no. I mean, when I
Yeah.
hear the word no, I'm like, underestimate,
Yeah. Watch me.
underestimate me. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I have a
Um,
shirt. I have a shirt that
It
says that.
says that.
oh,
Underestimate me. That'll be fun.
yeah, my
I
sister gave me that phrase. Mhm.
Mhm.
I have a shirt. I wear it, and people are like, "Oh,
Oh gosh, she's packing heat. Yeah, but I think that, I have been very lucky, and um I just I love people, and I love life, and I feel like we're all here for a reason, especially this specific time, you know.
hmm
I don't know how to explain it, or you have to look at everything like it's a miracle, or
right."
because it is.
Mhm.
And everything's energy, everything is frequency, and um I love working with all of that stuff too. Not manipulating it. Like, they better be really careful about what they're doing.
hmm
Those people working um, at this one place that I'm not naming, with trying to get through portals. And my grandpa was from Ireland, and he would help the priests with exorcisms. And this stuff is real.
Mm.
The spiritual warfare stuff is real. And I'm not like I don't know the Bible. As a Catholic, we don't.
That's right. We did
Yeah.
always say that. I'm like,
Could not.
we
Yeah.
can't quote you.
You
And
can't.
there's books missing. You know, who was King James, and where are the rest of the books?
Books. Yeah. Yeah. They decided this.
And I
You
mean,
know.
I don't, I think so outside of the box. I think
Right.
maybe that's what keeps me going,
Mhm.
because I question everything, and I love to investigate, but I have to figure it out on my own.
Mhm.
It's like, believe half of what you see and nothing of what you hear.
I mean,
Love
And
that.
yeah. Yeah.
Love that.
so true,
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
you just, unless, you know, and we all experience it differently. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
The experiences that we go through, how we react. I am working on that. I'm responding instead of reacting.
Yeah.
Right.
My daughter Molly's like, Mom, you are like a 3-year-old. You don't have an old soul. And she's right, I don't. My kids all do. But I'm like, why? Let's do this. We were at dinner last night, and my favorite restaurant. It's called the Smokehouse in Burbank,
Oh,
and
I've heard of it. Yeah.
it's my favorite place ever. And the kids were, well, me, Liam, Lucy, and Danny. Lucy's mom, my son Danny's fiance. So I'm like, okay, everyone put away your cell phones. And then I'm looking at their chicken wings and picked up one. I'm like, this looks like a little gun or the state of Florida. And then I said, look at this, you guys, watch this face filter. I'm learning how to use Snapchat.
I still
Nuts.
can't get
Just
that.
Don't,
no,
yep.
just the filters. Just the filters.
Okay.
Liam goes, Mom, you're a child. You are coloring. You told us to put our phones away. You're playing with the chicken. You're not eating. You're like cracking up at everything. He's like, and he is so much like my dad. It's crazy, but he's like laughing. He's like, we have to do this more. As the kids get
Yeah.
older,
Yes.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and that's the most important thing.
It is. Do
It
you live
is.
near all three of them? They all
Oh
three
yeah.
live near you.
Oh
That's
yeah.
so nice. That's
Molly
so
lives with
nice.
me
Hmm.
here. She's in New York right now. Think she might want to go to school there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she's in school here, but mm, you have to go all the way to Santa Monica, then you have to go to acting class here. And I'm like, why can't it just be in one place?
Hmm.
Right.
And it's so spread out. So her boyfriend is at Parsons Design School
Hmm.
in
In New
New York.
York, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And Molly really wants to go to Juilliard someday.
Ooh,
That would be
And
yeah,
us.
amazing.
that would
Hmm.
be. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. I just said, well, you have to work really hard. Um, one of us should learn how to act from a proper school because I didn't.
But yeah, it is
Yeah.
amazing though. You have had such a really great career. And I mean, Parenthood,
I don't even, that's one of my favorite
it's just
series
well, just like the
ever.
whole thing that everything that Parenthood touched on.
It's
It
so special to me.
Mhm.
I love all like Larry Trilling and Jason Katims. I adore,
Mhm.
and Dylan and everybody on the crew and the cast. Everybody, and people. Lauren Graham just got her star of fame.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
right.
And I'm really proud of her. She's worked like she's been here forever, you know.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
She's iconic, and everybody on that show was so loving and very protective. It was extremely rare too. I feel like, you know, every set I've been on has been so much fun and such like a family. It's what you bring to it. And if there's a person that's out of line, the producers will usually come to me and say, "Can you have a talk with him?" Yeah.
Wow.
And I
It's your
do.
job.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, let's just relax and have fun. Everyone's here to do the same thing, you know? It's a
Right.
job. If you grow up the way you grow up, you learn how to appreciate it. And you don't talk. I mean, I have a temper, don't get me wrong, but it's passion when I want something to get done, not because I'm being selfish, but because I need it to get done so that it can help something else.
Right.
It's like I used to say, you're either with me or you're in my way.
That's
Another good
that
saying.
is a good saying.
But even
Is it
with
though?
I mean,
it,
I do like it though. I mean, because
Mhm.
sometimes you have to get
You're
stuff
right.
done. Yeah.
right. Sometimes
Yeah.
you have to set the boundary and but
And
I
you have
do,
to do it yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
true.
Mhm.
And I think, when I was listening, getting ready for this interview, it seems like, you've worked with Robin Williams, you've worked with Philip Seymour Hoffman, you've worked
Oh my
with
gosh.
so many, Nicolas Cage. But when you're talking about the stories offset,
Yeah.
it seems like you connect on such a personal level with these
Oh
actors.
yeah.
Like it's not just a job, you are truly connecting on a personal level. I think that's really special. I don't know that many people do that.
Um,
Like other actors, like some of them did just stay in their
oh
lanes or
yeah.
whatever, but you were
No.
like, you kind of your stories are very personal stories, and
Mhm.
things like you got to know them on a much more personal level than maybe a lot of other actors would do. Is that
Yeah.
just your human nature? Is that just the way you are?
Yeah. If definitely. It sort of doesn't make sense because I can't be in like a concert or the mall or forget about Black Friday. So I can't be around a lot of um what's it called? Like noise or
Stimulus or
Just
sensor. Yes.
distraction. Yeah.
Right. So I go to the desert a lot and camp by myself just to recalibrate everything. And I used to do that as a kid. I would go in the field and sit, make a lunch, and the animals would come around and feed them and bring an animal home to my mom every day. And she's like, get that thing out of here. She's like, how did you catch that? I'm like, it just came home.
It just
Um,
followed me. Yeah.
and so I love people that are not, I talk to everyone
Mhm.
because I feel like, I feel like I have way more to learn than I can teach than, and
Yeah.
I, the nuns at school used to say, um, Monica, you don't think. And I would just cry. I'm like, I just feel everything, like to a degree where it, I'm now embracing it more now, and I do love people and talking to people and getting to know them. And it's interesting how as you grow and grow up and um get older, but you learn who has an agenda and who doesn't, who's just pure light and who's there for an agenda and who's using you to get to something nefarious. Or I see that too. So I'm not like a Pollyanna where I'm like, oh, everything's
Right.
rainbows and
Great. Yeah.
unicorns.
Hmm.
But I have like this fearless drive to get to the bottom of things and help the people that don't have a voice.